Oh, yeah, we can't. Can you shorthand it or anything?
This is still on.
It's still on. It's still
Oh, okay,
rolling.
good.
There's a battery backup probably on the for the computer.
The wheels are on.
Yeah, we're good here, so.
Okay.
Okay, Sheriff, go ahead.
Okay, first I want to thank the county commission for working with the sheriff's department. What I'm asking here, this morning is a raise from my deputies. I feel that it's, our responsibility, you know, as a sheriff and as a county commission, to make Lincoln County a safer place to live. And I feel that we need to have, in order to do that, we need to have good, experienced deputies. And over the past, we've been having a lot of turnover with our deputies, and they work.
Hold on just a second, Sheriff, sorry. Because now it has kicked off the recording. So,
You can go ahead, Sheriff, and she'll try to keep it by,
Okay, the sheriff deputies work for some of the lowest wages in the state. When other counties hire often are trained, certified, experienced Lincoln County deputies leave for better pay. In other words, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. That's what we've been experiencing in the past. And I'm asking the commission for a pay raise for our deputies. We're asking for 13% across the board increase for the deputies. You folks have that in your packet. You should have if you want to follow along with me here. Actually, salaries for the increase of all the current deputies would be this is the raise, $31,416. And for the retirement, we've estimated here the matching fund 6603.66 plus or minus 1% for possible retirement increases. We've allowed for that. The totaling cost $38,019.66. And that would put our deputies, our starting deputies that we hire off on the street out here at $27,120. Reminding you, after a year of service, they would get a $1,000 raise, providing they have went through the academy and the training. That would put them at $28,120, still $2,000 behind other neighboring counties. Still $2,000 behind our other neighboring counties. You have in your packet there, you have listed there of the surrounding counties, and this is for uncertified deputies. Boone County 33,240, Cabell County 32,700, Kanawha County 34,000. Now this is off the street deputies. Logan County 35,506, Putnam County 32,524, and Wayne County 27,000. And now let's stop right there just a minute. And Lincoln County is 24. And let's back up here at this sheet on where we're talking about the percentage of the raise. The surrounding counties gets an increase after their certification and been there 1 year. They get $3,000 to $5,000 a year a raise once they've been certified. These surrounding counties. And listen, I am so proud of this sheriff department. Hey, I could jump up on here and crow. And that's how proud I am of my sheriff department. It's not nothing that one person has done. It's took us all as a team to do it. And we're marching forward too, even as we speak. And I'd like for you to look at your packet there on civil process, sir, why that we need them to keep these deputies that we get trained. Our subpoenas, 950 from January 1, 2013 to June the 23rd. That's up to the present. And DVPs, 53 from January 1, 2013 to June 23rd, 2013. And if you turn to the next page, you can see it's been broke down here on our calls. April, Sheriff's Department, 115. West Virginia State Police, 206. I'll remind you, now I want to stop you right there, remind you on the West Virginia State Police, they have two shifts. They have a day shift and they have an evening shift, where the Sheriff's Department, sure we have a day shift, but what deputies I have, we're taking care of the court, taking care of the courthouse, and we do answer a few calls every now and then on day shift. But the reason why the state police is ahead of us here is they have two shifts of work on the roads out here of the day shift and evening shift. And May calls, Sheriff's Department 236, West Virginia State Police 205, Hamlin PD 162, West Hamlin PD 12. Police calls by agency April 13th, 20th. That breaks it down there in a percentage of Sheriff's Department with 27%, State Police 48%. And the second month total, Sheriff's Department 351, West Virginia State Police 411, Hamlin PD 253, West Hamlin PD 20. And 2 months total, look at that right there. You think that the Sheriff's Department ain't grabbing a couple of gears every now and then here? 34% to 40% versus, like I said now, remember, one shift of the Sheriff's Department on answering these calls. And the police calls dispatch in April, May of 2013, 398. You look down at the bottom of the page of April 13 and May 13, 560. If you turn the page, 2 months total, traffic stops, Sheriff's Department 220, West Virginia Sheriff State Police 372, Hamlin PD 86, West Hamlin PD 18. Police calls for traffic stops, animal complaints removed, 2 months total. Look at that right there. Hamlin PD 12%, West Hamlin PD 3%, Sheriff's Department 32%, and then we fall down here with the West Virginia State Police 53%. And again, they have two shifts. You think these guys, and the right over, if you want to look at this back here, it's the total reports by the departments. This is the Sheriff Department on the calls that we've got. The period of time from 4/1/2013 to 4/30/2013. This is the calls that we've received. You can look at them. We got them right there in black and white. Well, my point is, my deputies, they're workers. They believe in getting the job done. And again, I'm as proud of them as I can be. And I think it's, like I said before the start of the little presentation here, I think it's our responsible, not only the sheriff, I think it's the county commission involved too. The responsibility is to try to give these guys an incentive to get out of bed in the morning. Make it a little sweeter for them. And you know, whenever they get certified and they talk to a friend over here in another county, what are you making? Well, they starting you guys, oh, well, we're making 25 now. We're certified police officer. Well, we're making 35. And we've only been here a year. I mean, how can we compete with them? We're going to lose them, fellas. And we're going to continue having the big rollover. It's going to continue costing the county more money than what the raise I've asked for right here. And that's all I have. And again, this is Chief Napper here, and like I said, it's took a team to do what we've done, and I'm proud of every one of them.
Thank you, Sheriff. You know, just a matter of information, I mean, I think this is something that, you know, we've looked at before, but we need to look at again. There is some information I'd like to, and as we'll see how much money we have when we get into after the next month or so, we'll have a better idea of what we can do. Now, I don't think this would affect the rank and file as we set it up, other than start at different levels, instead of starting at, the way it's set up. I think you get an incremental increase every time you're here, so, once your rank increases or whatever, your time and things, I think you've got that built into that already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But the numbers I would like in reviewing this would also be the number of deputies each one of these places have and the population of the place, if you can get that for me. And that way, we can look and see exactly what we're looking at as cost per capita or cost per person that would be supervised and things. I mean, it would have to be watched after and things of that nature, but we've always agreed in the commission before that we don't pay you guys enough.
Right.
It's just a matter of trying to figure out how to pay you all in which situation and things of that nature. Because we have lost deputies before, that's why I think we have that thing, if they go to the state police academy and we pay for it, they have to, if they take off, do they not have to reimburse us then and things of that nature? I mean, I thought that was the way it was set up, I didn't know. I mean, that's the way I was understanding it. But anyway, this is something I think it's important to address, and we will address this. And like I say, I want to look at those other numbers and things like that, and then.
We got 2 years agreement with them, once we send them to the academy. The day they come out of academy, they sign a 2-year agreement, they won't leave them. And that's agreed on before they go to the academy.
Okay, that's what I thought.
2 years, that we do have them, but we want to be here longer than 2 years.
Oh, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? We want to keep them.
Right.
And try to stop this rollover in deputies, and I feel it's going to save the county a lot of money.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anybody else want to have anything? If not, we'll go on to the next thing on the agenda is request from the Corporal Community Center Advisory Committee for Glenn Turley to serve on the committee. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll move.
I said,
Is that an all yes? Yes. Next on the agenda is exercise training equipment for Duval Volunteer Fire Department.
They sent in a bill, requesting $2,026.68 for an exercise machine that they bought for training purposes in there.
Now, is this to come out of the levy monies, or,
I'm not sure, that's what I put it on
why
to
would-
see.
I don't understand.
Do they have to ask us to approve levy money?
Is that,
there was money for training set aside, right? That-
right?
Steve's back here, isn't he?
This one came from Nathan Price, is that the same area?
This was brought to us on the excess money, levy money, that we use it for training. And this is training exercise equipment to get someone in shape so we won't have a heart attack on the scene. And we was told that it would be acceptable to turn this in for training money out of the excess levy fund.
Does that levy specify you can use it for that? I mean, I don't know. I
We
mean,
was-
I thought it was for training firefighters to do their job and things of that nature. I didn't know if there was a provision to provide exercise equipment or not. I mean,
Well,
you know, Charles?
I think it says training, I think.
Well, we was told that we'd turn it in and you'd look at it.
Well, I mean, I think we could look at it, but I think we probably need some clarification on the levy as far as what those monies could be spent for. We can ask the prosecutor about that, couldn't we? Just to make sure, because
Sure.
I don't want, when people vote on the levy, they figure, if they see training, they think you're training to be a firefighter, not just having, getting them in shape and things of that nature. I would think anyway, but now it may be, but if it's, I think probably that would be the way I would suggest we go, is ask if we can do that, and if we can, we have no problem with it, but we wanna make sure legally we can do that.
Sure, absolutely.
Do they have to come before the commission to request money out of the excess fund? Or is that not distributed into their account? And that is voted upon by the taxpayer, and I don't understand why we would be housing the excess funds and why we would have to approve of them to draw down on any of the excess money. I would think that, because I've looked at our budget and we have, most of these volunteer fire departments, they have money that is shown on, basically on our books. And I don't understand why we are administrating that money. How come the volunteer fire departments aren't administrating their own money?
Well, they really are. We send checks out to them, based on the levy call, and the money's sent out there in lump sum. And then the only control we have after that is, they do send audits in of how the money has been expended. I assume what Steve's talking about is something special, without this levy or the levy prior or what, but I don't know what we do other than look into it and see if there's something we need to approve. I'm not sure.
I don't think that we would have to approve. I mean, I'm looking at the budget right here, and it looks like that there's some unencumbered money for Allen Creek, Duval, Guyan Valley, Mud River, and Morrisville. And I don't understand why we are carrying that, and how come we haven't sent a check to you all for that money. Just to give you that money to put in your account so that you all can do with it. I'm sure you all have a board, and you all can make those decisions.
Yeah, we could use that money. We need to replace the truck, that's for sure.
When I can use that levy monies for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'm just saying, and I don't know what to call what the specific wordage of the levy is, but that's one of the things you wanna do is make sure that, you're using those funds for the things that are appropriate. I think the question that Mr. Matthews is bringing up is whether this commission should be holding that money and instead of, dispersing it the way we're doing versus going ahead and giving it all to you at one time or whatever. I think that we need to ask the prosecutor about that and see what he feels about it, just to make sure that, what his opinions are. So we will, if it's okay with the commission, we'll go ahead. Well, let me have a motion for me to send a letter to the prosecutor asking for clarification on the distribution of levy funds to the fire departments.
I'll second.
Is that all it is?
Yes.
And you'll get that done for me, Mary?
And if we find out that this money doesn't have to be housed, then I think what we need to do is just to go ahead and send that money.
Well, I think I'm all for that, if that's what the prosecutor says is okay to do. And I think that puts the burden of scrutiny on you guys more than us, you know what I
Well,
mean? Because that'd be something we'd wanna make sure was being handled properly, because I know I don't think we've ever had any trouble with fire department. I know in emergency services cases, we've had trouble with things before, so, and I know that, just historically speaking. So, but I think we'll get a response from the prosecutor and we'll act accordingly on it.
And every department they have different wants and needs, and it would be, I think, instead of you all coming to us and asking for the money that was appropriated by the taxpayer, then the money should be there, and you all, as a board, you all have board members, you all make decisions about where you want to spend your money, in compliance with the levy.
Well, no, the money is under their jurisdiction, but there is, things the commission has always held is until audits are in and approved, money is not released until that time. So they know that, and they've always done that. Few departments sometimes get behind, but basically that's our control of it.
And we agreed upon that too.
Did you have something else you wanted to address?
I'm next on the agenda.